Hey everyone, and welcome. Food is one of those things that just connects all of us, no matter where we're from. It's about culture, it's about energy, and of course, it's about great conversation. So in this explainer, we're going to pump up your English vocabulary so you can talk all about it. Let's dive right in.
I bet you are. This simple little question is usually the start of something great, a good meal, and an even better conversation. Let's start with the kind of food you probably see just about every day.
So we're going to kick things off with a category of food that is popular all over the world, mainly because it's so quick and easy. Fast food.
So what exactly is fast food? Well, the key word is right there in the name, fast. It's food that you can order and get in just a few minutes, which is pretty perfect for when you're in a big hurry.
And here are some of the heavy hitters, the most common examples. You've got burgers and fries. What a classic combo. Pizza, which pretty much everyone loves. Hot dogs, a total classic at sporting events. And of course, some crispy fried chicken. You can find these almost anywhere you go. Now, you will often hear people describe fast food as being unhealthy. So what does that actually mean? Well, think of it as a contrast. Unhealthy food is usually pretty high in things like fat and sugar. Healthy food, like the salad you see here, is the total opposite. It's packed with nutrients that are really good for your body. And what do people usually drink with fast food? A carbonated drink. That's just the official kind of fancy term for any drink that has bubbles in it, like a Coca-Cola or a Sprite. You might also hear people call it a fizzy drink or, especially in the US, soda. They all mean the exact same thing.
So, how do you ask someone to get food in a really casual way? This phrase is perfect. To grab a bite is just a super friendly, informal way to say, hey, let's get something to eat, without it having to be a big, formal dinner.
Okay, let's completely switch gears and talk about a totally different way to eat. We're moving away from the fast food counter and into the backyard for a classic get-together, the barbecue.
A barbecue, or BBQ for short, is really two things at once. It's the event itself, a gathering of friends and family, and it's also the way you cook the food. It's a really popular social thing to do, especially when the weather is nice.
Let's look at some key words for a barbecue. For equipment, you're definitely going to need a grill to cook on and a cooler to keep all the drinks nice and cold. For food, well, you might have steaks, kebabs. Those are the yummy pieces of meat and veggies on a stick, and maybe some hot dogs. And of course, you'll need lawn furniture, which is just a simple way of saying chairs and tables for being outside.
Now, before you even start grilling, there's often this really important step, marinating. To marinate something means you soak it in a flavorful sauce. This does two awesome things. It makes the meat more tender, and it adds a ton of delicious taste.
And the whole process is actually pretty simple. First, you just mix up a sauce. Second, you add your meat. And third, you just let it sit in the fridge for a while. The longer it rests, the more flavor gets in there. It's a super easy step that makes a huge, huge difference.
So, we've covered fast food and barbecues, but what about just a normal day? Let's take a look at the names we use for the meals we eat from morning till night.
So let's just walk through a typical day. The very first meal you have in the morning is breakfast. Then, around the middle of the day, you have lunch. And the main meal you eat in the evening is called dinner. Simple, right? Oh, and anything you eat between those main meals, that's just called a snack. All right, now that we've got all this great vocabulary, let's actually put it to use. This section is all about the practical, useful phrases you can use in everyday conversations about food.
This is such a useful social skill. Imagine you're with a friend, you're both getting hungry. What do you say? How do you kick things off?
A really great, natural way to suggest something is to start with the phrase, how about? For example, you could say, how about we go get some pizza? It's super friendly, and it invites the other person to either agree or maybe suggest something else.
Okay, so you've ordered the food. It's finally here. Now, how do you talk about it? What kinds of words can you use to share what you're thinking?
Well, there are three really key ways to describe food. First is flavor. That's the taste. Is it sweet, sour, spicy? Then there's texture, which is all about how it feels in your mouth. Is it crunchy or soft or maybe creamy? And finally, cuisine, which just refers to a style of cooking from a certain place, like Italian cuisine or Mexican cuisine.
And hey, just for fun, here are a few mind-blowing food facts. Did you know that carrots were originally purple? How cool is that? Or that honey literally never spoils. Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that you could still eat today. And get this, bananas are technically berries, but strawberries are not. And finally, the most popular fruit in the whole world, it's not the apple, it's not the banana, it's the mango.
So there you have it. From fast food to barbecues, from making a suggestion to describing all the different flavors, you've just learned a ton of vocabulary and phrases. You really do have the tools now to jump into those conversations.
And that brings us to my final question for you. You know, the best way to learn is to actually practice. So take a second and think about it. What's your favorite food? Try to describe it using some of the new words we learned today, like flavor, texture, and cuisine. Thanks so much for joining this explainer.